needed to sort my bits because, you know, our lovely Karen is running the sort your bits competition, and I thought, you know what, I need to sort my bits as well. So I've got one of my boxes down, this one. I actually did have a look at, you see all the boxes behind me, all the ones above, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more over there, plus cubby holes, plus all sorts. And I thought I would join in with the competition and sort my bits. So I had a quick look at some of the drawers behind me, and quite honestly, they're a little bit, there's a little bit too much in them. Why? Look, I mean, have you seen this? And I haven't looked in it. All I've done so far is I got those bits out because they were already pressed. So I got those bits out, and they're not, so actually some of them are fat quarters and some of them are less than a fat quarter. So I thought I'd go through my bits, especially my yellow ones. I've got all the other colours. So I do sort them in colours. So every sort of drawer you see, which is this big, it's this big, has a colour in it. Okay, the only one that I have more than one drawer is blue. Blue seems to be such a popular colour, and I've got an awful lot of blue, so I do need to sort of tone it down a bit. So I thought I'd grab myself a cup of coffee, which is just lovely. I'm going to have to tell you, so you can see my coffee. There you go. And I've had a busy day, and I've had a day that should have been not so busy, but yeah, it's been sort of super busy. Right, so let me just get the Facebook Live up on the page. I hope you don't mind me interrupting your afternoon. I'm sure you won't mind. I thought, you know what, you need to see me bits, basically. So hello to everybody that's joined. That's lovely. I know I didn't tell you. Oh, there's Kath. If only I could tell you what's been going on. Well, in fact, I will be telling everybody what's been going on. But anyway, Caroline. Hope you're well, Caroline. And Jackie and Gemma and Carol and Inga. Inga got her wonkies, that's good. Carol and Gaynor and another Karen. So I'll keep an eye on the comments because it's supposed to be relaxed. Now then, I've got my grotty pressing mat here. It's kind of like the big size of the one I did in A4. It's the same sort of principle, but it's one that I sit over there in the other side of the room to take bigger pieces of fabric, and it's very useful. I've got my big scissors because I'm not going to do rotary cutting, but I'm going to trim little bits as I go. I've got my Alicio, whatever it's called, iron, which I have to say is a pain in the butt. It really is a pain in the butt because it leaks everywhere, so you have to drain the water off. In fact, very rarely do I have water in it because it can't be trusted. So I've got that full with water so I can steam things. I was saying I didn't want to use my so flat. That's such a waste on fabric that's just going to get bunged in there again. So what was I can hardly see the comments here. Oh, Jeanette says she's babysitting for her daughter's dog. Oh, she's been for x-rays. What, the daughter or the dog? Will you sorting your bits is a bit like spot the difference in real life. That's absolutely true. Donna says, hi Lizzie, well, I'll wait for you all. It's been fantastic. I hope you've been joining in. I have to say that my admin, my lovely ladies who I love so much, they've had such a great response every day. I'm really pleased for them. What is this? Emma says, I've shown Kath how she can get you on her big telly box. Oh, please don't. I mean, I have to put a spade's worth of stuff on. Caroline says, I'm okay, but it's been an upsetting couple of days. Oh, it's family stuff again, I expect, Caroline. It's just a pain, isn't it? But have 5 minutes out. Come on, have 5 minutes out with me. Get a cup of tea. Hi, Cindy. Afternoon to you as well. So that's lovely. Lovely you can join me. I've got bits all over this. Honestly, it's complete and utter mess, but it's such a great workhorse. So it's great in my craft room. So here we go. So like I say, every box is full of yellow, well, this fabric, this one being yellow. So let me just, I don't know what's in there, but it should all be yellow. Look, there it is. So I daren't tip it out, because if I tip it out, it's going to be like this, okay? So I'm just going to grab bits as we go, and I'm going to tidy them up, and I'm going to iron them as I go as well. So where, for instance, I've got a piece like this where we've got oh, nice sharp scissors. I think these are the ones I reviewed. Yeah, these are the ones I reviewed. So that's a sort of scrappy bit. So that can be put to one side and can go in a Lizzie Lovely bag. And this is quite a big bit, so I'm quite happy with that. But it's got scruffy bits here, so I can just trim that off. Now, some of these bits will be obviously yellow, and some like this, which I love this fabric actually, but I haven't used it very much. What's this? What's it called? Barn Dance Blank Quilting.net. Well, that doesn't really tell me anything, does it? Whew, I might have to turn the steam off if it gets too much. So just give it a nice little iron, because I must admit I don't fold anything up. I just literally bung it in. Literally bung it in. I'm just going to iron that little crease out there. Let me turn that steam down. It's not my favourite iron. I actually have got another iron. It's, oh, look at that. That's one of the bits Abigail sent me. I have got another iron, but it's one of those steam generators, and it's too big to have in my room. So that's quite a big bit, isn't it? Oh, I've got a small bit on the end here, so we might as well tidy that up. I'll just use my scissors. Seeing as how they're lovely sharp scissors. So anything that I cut off will go into a Lizzie bag, and they're big enough to make little projects with, but might as well bung them, you know. So this might take me a while. This was a big bit. Whose idea was this? Let's just fold it over here. So I should imagine that's nearly ½ a meter's worth. So although, so I don't know, how do you store yours? Do you keep every single scrap together, like you can see mine's going to be like that? Or do you actually tidy as you go, which is very commendable? I'd like to know, because sometimes it's good to have past tips on, isn't it, don't you think? So there we go, fold that up nicely. See, quite a big bit. I don't know if going it that way would be too much, so we'll put it on the bottom of the pile. I think we should all get together and have an ironing bits party. Great plan. Oh, see, look, this is not worth me keeping in my bits drawer, is it? Not really. It's quite a small bit, you can see that. So bits that size, I'm going to tell you a lie, I'm going to put it in a bag for stuffing toys with. That's never going to happen, so it's going to go in the bin, and this will go ready for a Lizzie Lovely bag. There's no point, you know, not being honest. I'm all for honesty. So let's cut a few of these little scraggly bits off. And you know what, it wouldn't take you a minute, would it, when you've finished a project, just to tidy your bits up. Bin. And have a bit of a sort out and make sure everything's in its right place and things like that. You shouldn't really be putting creases in this, but it's not making it nice and easy to fold. So I can have a nice little heap. Love the colours. So well, they're all lovely, aren't they? Because they're yellows. Now this is a really big bit. Oh no, it's lots of bits. Oh crikey! Was this from Abigail? I think these are all fat quarters from Abigail. I'm not sure. Oh right. Oh, how nice, aren't they? See how they've been lost in the heap. Been lost in the heap. So let's do one at a time. They are fat quarters. See, if they're fat quarters, they should perhaps go into a separate box. What do you think? I don't think I should really iron these. I don't really want creases on them, but it's nice to iron your fabric. I don't do any other form of ironing, so I might as well. Let's just fold it in half and then I'll keep that nice. So what's everybody up to? What's this? Gaynor says, I'm a bit hit and miss sort of fabrics at the end of each project. Oh, that's good. That's excellent. Yes, it was, was it fat quarter of the month? Yeah, oh right, okay. Just shows it just gets buried, doesn't it? That's nice though. I'm going to have to use that for a Making It Monday project, I think. We'll have to have a yellow month. Have to have a yellow month, Kath. Yellow and gold. Well, same thing, I suppose. So what else have we got on here? Pat says, I actually save as much as possible, then I bag them up and offer them to others. Well, yeah, yes. Is that a sort of a hint, Pat? If you didn't live so far away, it would. That's very doable, that is. I'm happy to share me bits. Oh, these are all, well, I'm pretty sure they're all proper size fat quarters. Anyway, yes, so I had to have an emergency visit to the seaside today. Some folk would say, well, that's not an emergency, but it kind of was, because, oh, I love this fabric. I made a sunglasses case. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember this sunglasses case fabric. It's a rather big bit, isn't it? So, gosh, it could do with a tidy up. How am I gonna do this? Just cut it right down there. Yes, I had to go to the seaside because on my birthday, every year, you must know by now, that I go to Southwold to the amber shop, and I always get a little piece of amber. Varies from year to year what I get. Sometimes it's, and I don't really wear it very much. I know this sounds daft, but we buy fabric, we don't always use it, do we? But and I love amber for whatever reason, I don't know. And I think I'll just cut that bit there and put the other in my my little Lizzie Lovely bags. And anyway, so I buy all sorts of different things. And this year I bought a nice sort of necklace of it was like a honey sort of coloured amber. It's quite unusual, I hadn't seen anything like it before. And one night I was watching TV, and then all of a sudden I realised something had sort of dropped down the front of my shirt and my jumper, and it was a piece of one of the beads. It split. And I'd really looked after it. I really look after my amber. You know, that's the one thing that I really treasure. And I thought, oh goodness, first of all it looked like a Smartie. And then I realised it was a piece of amber. How am I going to do that? Chop it across there, I think. I don't really want odd shapes. I want to keep it fairly rectangular. And yeah, it split, and I was mortified. I was so upset because I treasure it so much. Anyway, after a little bit of time, John and I thought we'd better take it back to Southwold, and they'd already said that they would replace it with another bead, and they'd have to restring it, and you know, with a new carved bead. So I had to take it back to the shop today for them to do that, and yeah, so that's what I did. And we literally drove there. It's about an hour and a half, depending on what route you take. It's not straightforward in where I am. It's still in Suffolk, but it's the other side of Suffolk, and there's no decent roads to get to it, so it's a bit of a job. So anyway, it's about an hour and a half to get there, rotten roads. And we got there, we walked from the car park to the amber shop, went into the amber shop. I didn't think much of the lady that served me. Something about her I didn't take to. called. Sounds bad, doesn't it? And anyway, she gave me a repair receipt and took my lovely necklace away to get it sorted, because what they'll have to do is take the broken bead off and restring it. And yeah, so I mean, I hadn't been able to wear it anyway for the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks, so nothing lost in that respect, but I shall miss it, and I shall be pleased when I get it back, because I shall wear it. And I was wearing it quite a bit, not because it was new, but because it was so lovely to look at. And I really liked it. Obviously, you don't wear something you don't like, do you? So yeah, so I should be glad when that comes back. So we did have to do this emergency, it's getting heavy that on, emergency run to Southwold, and we had fish and chips while we were there, which was nice. So that was a bit of a treat. And see, that bit's, I mean, yeah, I suppose that would be the lining of a pouch, wouldn't it? So maybe I'll just, well, you see, if I trim it up, that's going to end up being pieces. So I might as well trim it and put it in my Lizzie Lovely bags section. Let's just give it a press. It's so creased. So, like everything, this is going to take a little while to do. So I thought I'd spend half an hour with you doing it. And you can keep me company for a bit. I was going to read your messages. Oh, who's this about the embroidery? Kath, I'm doing an embroidery sample and convinced I'm going to win. Bless. Yes, well, I love your positive attitude, Kath. And it's good that you're making an entry, because all the admin should be making an entry. That's no good for anybody. Because that's why I'm doing my sort your bits, because I can hear Nicola in my ear saying, come on Lizzie, sort your bits. And oh no, it's Karen. Don't know why I thought Nick. Oh, I know, because she was talking about sorting the bits earlier. That's right. I'm going to put that in my heap, and the small bit I'm going to put in my for bags, little scrap bags. It's got to be done anyway. It's one of those things that I've kind of put off for ages, and yeah, it needs to be done. So see, you can leave scraps like that if you're going to give them away, because then the recipient can tidy them up, can't they? And yep, I always think that's a good idea. Ooh, bee fabric. I have to say, a lot of my fabric is quite big. I didn't expect it to be so big. Yeah, but once we've cut them down like that, I'll put that to one side for a moment, and then just trim that up so at least it's square. So let's have a look what else the comments are. I can see it on the big screen better. We went to Wells next to sea today, and we had fish and chips also. Who said that? Oh my gosh. Oh, Melba. Oh, lovely. We like Wells. There's a caravan site just near the seaside bit, the coast, I suppose. And we said we would go there perhaps this summer if we can get in, because now motorhomes have become really popular. We can't, and caravans of course, we can't get into some of the places that we would like, because all the new guys are you know, booking up. But the only thing now is that with the Caravan and Motorhome Club, they charge a deposit now, whereas they never did. So that's sort of deterring people from booking unnecessarily, because that's what they used to do. We could never get into York. York Caravan and Camping site is really popular, and we could never get in there because it was always fully booked. But oftentimes, if you phoned a day or two before, you could get in because people had cancelled, because although they'd booked, they really had no intentions of going. You know, that's how it is, isn't it, with people? So what else? I keep those tiny bits and put them in my applique box. Trouble is, I forgot I have them, and then cut into my big bits again. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That's what. See, why? Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. Because, I must have thought, well, these will be handy. For what exactly? So, whatever's going on. So I've got bits here that are not suitable for me, so I shall put them in my other heap. And that can go into a bag. There we go. This is nice. Some of these things are bringing back memories of things that I've made. I couldn't tell you the name of what I've made with them. See, that's no good to anybody, is it? But it will go into a Lizzie bag. So it's just being sensible, isn't it? I think, and I've had to be, because you've seen how much fabric I've got just in that one box. So I've got to be sensible. Just get rid of it, pass it on, pop it in the bin. See, that's quite a good size to give away. So we'll tidy it up. And I know some of you guys will think, oh gosh, that's a big piece to. And like you were saying about applique, but it's sometimes that's a nice, pretty little bit. See, but really, why have I kept that? I've obviously thought I should be doing some applique. There's another big bit there. I loved this fabric when I got it. It was from Higgs and Higgs. You see, it's all mushrooms. It's lovely. They have some lovely fabric. In fact, that's probably near enough a whole ½ metre. And it's just scrunched up. Very disrespectful of fabric, isn't it? Oh, let's try and get some of the creases out. There we go. I'm going to have to move my heap. There we go. So what else? You kept it because you knew you'd be doing a Lizzie Lovely bag. Well, probably. But then it's getting round to actually doing that as well. I've got to do some for Duxford. I've promised people that I'll do them, for Duxford. And of course we've had one. I've made one up. I made one up yesterday for the birthday competition for Spin the Wheel. So you might be, your name might be picked for that. It's a nice one as well. It's got antique fabrics in, well, lots of antique fabrics in. It's got some like pure wool blankets, so you can make hearts. Yeah, it's a nice it's a nice bag actually. So that's a scruffy little bit. So let's just square it up, and we'll just dispose of that bit. In fact, that's quite a biggish bit. I've got to. I mustn't deviate. I've got to be good. So maybe you have to have a minimum size. So that's like a 5-inch square, isn't it? So anything above a 5-inch square, and under a fat quarter, I'll put for my bags. How many of these did I say I had? I think it was 9, wasn't it? Actually, talking about Lizzie Lovely bags, let's have a guessing game. So, how many? This is. I tell you what. What should we do? Let's give away a bag, a Lizzie Lovely bag, for the correct, nearest to the correct answer. How many Facebook Lives have I done in this group since it started? How many? That's, so put the number and what you think in the comments, and I'll have a look later, and whoever's the closest, I'll pick somebody out for a bag, yeah? How about that? I'd be happy with winning your bin. Who said that? Oh, Nicola. Pat says 6 inches, or do you mean 6 Facebook Lives? Let's have a look. Oh, Sandra says, I've got the wrong glasses on today. I joined some strips of wadding together to use in a small table runner. Ooh, the blocks were orphan blocks given to me by a fellow quilter. I've been making cushion covers and pin cushions out of them, all going to the charity shop. Oh, That's just so commendable. It's just so commendable. Sandra, fantastic. Fantastic. When I retire, I shall do something like that, because you know we won't be able to sit still. I always say if I lose, this is going to sound awful, but if I lose the use of my hands or my eyesight starts to go, I think I might go crazy. But if I've got all those faculties, then I will definitely be utilising my skills and making things for charity and stuff like that. I've got to, haven't I? It would be crazy not to. I mean, my mum did so much, but all she did, she didn't do anything for charity, but she did teach, she did pass on her skills, which is very, very good. But I think that's what I would like to do. I just kind of like, but I think what I'd like to do is have a stall at like a craft fair. Still like to meet people, because you know I like to talk. So I'd still like to meet people and chat, but make stuff as well. Hopefully I'll be able to. You don't know, do we, what's round the corner? Right, so fleece. I've actually got a proper drawer for fleece, which is up there, so I'll put that down on the floor. Look at this, see? I've still got a ton. Look. Don't worry, I won't stay here for the whole time. Don't worry. See, this is all scrappy. I thought half an hour. You'd be fed up with me after half an hour. I'll be fed up with me after half an hour. Oh dear. So what else have we got? I'm better on there. Retire. I'll be wheeling you out for a while yet. Who's that? Abigail. Oh dear. Well, I was talking about my dad to Adrienne the other day, and I was saying he's doing so well at 94, nearly 94, and he doesn't move enough. He used to be, in his day, he used to be a physical training instructor, and he used to do rehabilitation for soldiers who had been had damage, I can't think of the word, in the war. So, you know, they'd maybe lost a limb, or, you know, something horrid had happened to them, and he would rehabilitate them so they were, you know, fairly, I'm not going to say fit, because they're never fit. He doesn't move now. He suffered with sciatica just after Mum died, and he decided he was going to sit in his chair. And actually, he's never moved from it. Well, you know, obviously he has a bit, but he decided that's when he decided, I suppose, that was it. He'd had enough, and you know, he's still got a zest for life, but just wants to sit and pass the time of day that way, which is fine, you know. And I keep trying to get him to walk, and I walk him into the garden, and then he gets a bit nervous about falling over, because he fell over in the road last year and broke his leg. It's perfectly fine. He's all metal now in that leg. Perfectly fine. But anyway, I was talking to Adrian about it, and I said, who knows if he will need to, you know, go into a home or something. At the moment, he's got carers that come round to see him every day, make sure he's okay, perhaps get his breakfast, you know, help him with tasks, and he loves it. Well, sometimes he loves it, sometimes he complains a little bit about them. Oh dear, I keep telling him how lucky he is. So I'm going to just tidy that bit up there, and then I'm just going to fold that bit nicely. It's quite a nice colour, isn't it? See, it's a bit scruffy, that end. I'm loath to keep it like that, but I will. Otherwise we'll be here all day chopping and cutting everything up. So let's just fold it. Yes, so anyway, that's what I was saying to Adrienne, and she said that she would make sure that I went into a nice home. I don't know how we get onto this subject. And she'd feed me with copious amounts of chocolate and brandy, which sounds good to me, guys. That sounds good to me. So anyway, I've got her booked in for that. But no doubt I shall be still trying to stitch. There was a chap on TV about 2 years ago, something like that, and he'd gone into a home, but he was a tailor. He had those skills, amazing, and he took his sewing machine in and his tailor's dummy, and look at this. This is a 1/2 metre, and that's what's cut out of it. Why? Oh, all right, there's a corner. Fair enough. I'll just trim that away. Yeah, so, and he used to make the residents' waistcoats. I can't remember his name now. I did record it for a bit. I think it might have been local to me. And yeah, he made them waistcoats, and he was really good. He must have been about 90. Yeah, and I thought, oh, bless him. And outside of his room, his door, he had a rail with ready-made waistcoats on that people could come and choose. And because they were all very dapper, and oh, it's lovely, really lovely. Oh, stories like that make your heart sing, don't they? Sorry, I'm faffing with this. I'm trying to get it straight. Yeah, so anyway, don't know how I got onto that subject. Oh, my dad, that's what it was. Goodness knows. I didn't go and see him yesterday. I should have done. I was very busy because it's coming up to the end of the month, so obviously Kath and I are like mad things trying to get patterns done and trying to get everything organised for you guys. And I phoned him and said, Dad, I really need to do some work. And he's like, okay, well, you know, I'm here whenever you want. And I said, oh, thanks, Dad. I said, I really appreciate that. And I spent the afternoon preparing for a video I'm going to film tomorrow for you all. And anyway, so I said, oh, well, what are you doing for the rest of the day then? Well, he says, I'm going to sit here and wonder why all my relatives keep letting me down. Excuse me, Dad, we've just had this conversation. You said it was all right. Well, you know. But anyway, he's all right. That's pretty, isn't it? I've got one bit chopped out of that, look. That's a 1/2 metre piece, so I'll keep all of that. I'll just fold it nicely. In fact, it might even be a metre. I think it is. And I'd forgotten I got that in there. Yeah, some lovely pieces of fabric. See, we were having a look at the fabric and seeing what we like. So what else have you been doing? I'm taking a break from making coronation cushions and bunting. Who's that? Who's that saying that? I can't see. Oh, Anne Marie. Oh, oh, lovely. Are you going? Have you got a street? What do they call, street party? That would be nice, wouldn't it? So this is quite a big piece, so it's going to go. I'm going to put that at the bottom of my heap. Let's just shift that and put that like that. There we go. We're getting a bit of a nice heap now. Oh, now I know you got your great sense of humour, your sweet dad. Oh, he's a monkey. He plays the poor me card. He doesn't mean, like I said, he doesn't really mean it. It's also a bit of Riley Blake, isn't it? He's just a bit of a tease, really. He must have driven Mum crazy. Let's just straighten that up. Yeah, and I know he's perfectly fine, and he's getting his Tesco delivery about now, so he'll be fine with that, and that keeps him busy for a while. They really look after him, the Tesco men, or girls. They come in and on his account it says, I'm unable to carry my groceries. Please could you take them through to the kitchen? And So he clears on a Wednesday morning, first thing, he clears all the counter. Yeah, he has like £40 worth of groceries. You could fit it on a draining board, it's so small. But he clears all the counter, makes room, and then when they come in, he's like, oh, thank you, because I have a bit of difficulty. And then they put it away for him. He's not daft, you know. They put it away for him. They put it, you know, where does this go, Mr. Curtis? And yeah, honestly, lives the life of Riley. Yeah, honestly. So, yeah, I love this owl fabric. Really lovely. Yes, so what else have we got to say? That's because he's got a lovely face. Who said that? Oh, Abigail. I couldn't say, who knows what my dad looks like. He was a handsome man, but then I think we all say that about our parents, don't we? But he was quite a handsome man. And, yeah, so and I think he knew it. Yeah, he does very well. Very well. They all do, but yeah, and if you're lucky enough to still have your parents with you, then you know we'd all be saying the same, wouldn't we? Hopefully. That's a nice big piece. See, I'm really living all my memories here with my fabrics. Let's just move that slightly. Yes, so we went to Southwold. We had fish and chips, which was just lovely. It's the smallest fish and chip shop in the world, and you can just about swing a cat in it if you needed to swing a cat. And so that was lovely. But we sat opposite a really posh lady's shop, and they were closed for the day. I didn't realise for a little while, but they were closed for the day, and they had a sign on the door, which again I hadn't really sort of noticed until some ladies walked up to the door, and inside there was a posh lady stood there, and she unlocked the door and let them in. So I'm like, oh, what's going on here? And after a little while, another lady went up to the door, and all I can say is these ladies were absolutely dressed to kill. They looked beautiful. So there was obviously, I didn't take me long, but I thought there must be some sort of event going on. And when we finished our fish and chips and walked by, it was closed for a special event. So all these lovely ladies were turning up in all their finery, and you could see inside the shop. And there was like a sort of a catwalk. So obviously they had they were modelling this season's clothes, and they had a catwalk set up. And yeah, so but the sad thing was there was a lovely old lady who, with her husband, and there must have been about 80, went to the door, and they obviously, it was locked, and she wasn't obviously one of the selected few. Yeah, she obviously wasn't. And she sort of rattled the door, and the lady with the key like ignored her. And I was watching, and I was thinking, oh, this is not good. This is not going to end well. So she rattled the handle again. And the lady with the key behind the door opened the door, and she said, "This is a special event." So the ladies obviously had a conversation with her. And I said to John, she might have travelled 20-30 miles to go to this posh shop for something nice, you know, a little treat. Maybe it was she had got a wedding to go to or something like that. And you know, and I thought, oh, she's not going to be able to go in and have a little shop. I was really sad for her. And anyway, so her and her husband then sort of walked across the road near to where we were. Look at this, a fat quarter with that cut out. I mean, who does that? Obviously me. yeah, so they walked across the road and stood outside the window where we were sitting eating our fish and chips. Delicious. And they seriously looked like they didn't know quite now what to do. That obviously they'd planned for it. You could tell. And I felt so sad for them, because I thought they're going to have to go home now, aren't they? They're going to walk away, nothing bought, no adventures had. That's a fat quarter. And they're going to have to go home. I thought I was really sad for her. And I know it's not, you know, they couldn't have let her in because it just wasn't appropriate. But, and of course, if it was an older lady, she may not have been on email or, well, you know, because people don't, years ago there'd be a mail shop, wouldn't there? A mail shop where you know, everybody would get a letter in the post, or in fact there's a little posh shop where my mum used to go, and they still send my mum the mail shop in the post. And so years ago you would have that, but now of course everybody tends to get an email, don't they? So I don't, perhaps she didn't have an email, so yeah, I was a bit sad for her really, because I thought, oh, she's missed out on something really nice there. Oh, now which pile do I put that on? Because that was quite a nice little bit, that was. Put it on my pile. What do you reckon? It's getting there. Well, that can be left as it is. That's from Abigail. It's got to be, and it's ghost fabric. She loves her Halloween. She bought Halloween fabric on Saturday. Oh, is that a bit of Riley blank? I'm not sure. I'll give that a little press. That'll be okay. Let's have a look at the comments. Janet says, Sainsbury's here. Sorry, I'll have to move my glasses. Don't enter your house. So, oh, I see. So my 88-year-old aunt comes to bring it in and put it away for me. Oh, bless her. Why won't they come into your house? Well, okay, I can understand it. I can understand it. But if you've specifically requested that, because, like, you know, like my dad, he just can't carry the groceries. Well, he would fall, and then there'd be trouble. No. Oh, is there no compromise here? I don't know. I don't know. It's very difficult, isn't it? Obviously I've got strong opinions about it, but there we are. I'll keep quiet. Abigail says, I did and I'll do it again. The Halloween fabric. Yeah, I'm watching you. Because don't forget, Doubters are coming. Oh, it's green. Wrong heap. Doubters are coming to my village in June, Abigail. 17th of June. They're coming here. So perhaps we'll get Adrienne to come as well this time. Adrienne doesn't really do fabric shopping as such. She likes fabric, but she has her particular style. She likes jewels fabric. She's very much into jewels. But maybe it's like everything, isn't it? You can be overwhelmed by it. Certainly when we went on Saturday, there was huge amounts of fabric. And yeah, sometimes it gets a bit too much, doesn't it? You just don't know what to choose in the end, and then you come away with nothing. It's often the case. Yes, so we had fish and chips. And then we just literally turned around and came home, because I've got stuff to do. Like I say, it's the end of the month, and it's and birthday week, obviously, and we get super duper busy. I hope you've entered some of the competitions. Have you entered? I've already asked this question, I know, but have you sort of done your bit and tried? Because we've still got lots of prizes, so I'm going to have to do random giveaways, I think, to get all the prizes sent out. That would be nice. I've still got 2 rulers from Abigail that she donated, which is super. I've got some squares from Adrienne as well, which is lovely. Her squares are just so delicious. Did you see Gemma's quilt? Our Gemma Joy made a green... Our Gemma Joy, bit of liberty, made a beautiful quilt using Adrienne's crown squares. worth a look if you haven't seen it. I don't know if Gemma's posted it in the group. I know she can't say who the designer is, but she might well have posted the picture of it in the group. I don't know. Haven't looked lately. But certainly if you go on to, well, Gemma's page, you'll see it there, I'm sure. I'm sure. So we're getting a bit of a heat going on now, aren't we, guys? Oh, I do like this fabric. They have a name for it. What's it called? They do it in just regular fabric, but this is foiled. Oh, it begins with C, doesn't it? Can anybody remember what that fabric's called? Liberty. Yeah? Can you remember? I'll have a little slurp of my coffee now. 350. Oh yes, who's guessing? Yes, so guess how many lives I've done since the group started 4 years ago. It's 4 years on Saturday. Guess how many lives? Now, what I'll do is, and what are this? I'm going to give away a Lizzie bag, which will be lovely. They are super because they're full of vintage stuff, and bits and pieces of nice fabrics as well. So maybe this piece would go in there, for instance. Well, any of the bits that I folded up. Yeah, and there's lace in there and buttons and sort of a nice trim and all sorts button. Oh, I said that. Right, so let's just have another little go. What time have we got? It's 5:15. Oh, 17 minutes past. And I said I'd only be half an hour to John. Right, so I think I just need to square this up like that. Okay. And that bit, let's just cut it up into bite-sized chunks and put it in for my scrap bags. We don't want just odd shapes, do we? Because even little bits like this, you could make like zip tabs and things like that. And I'll do it as a job lot, look. I'll put it all together. There we go. Give it a press, it's nice and tidy. Makes such a difference when you press. Oh yes, so the other thing was, actually I was going to talk to Kath about, is that, you know, when I design my patterns, I draw everything out on card or paper, depending on what it is. But I draw everything out and then I scan it and then I draw it on my graphics program. And so I needed to do some scanning of one of May's patterns. And could I get my scanner to work today? Could I? Heck. Oh, see? Look, that's all bias. But you see, it's because I've never looked after it. It's all frayed now, can you see? I suppose if I give it a press, if I put that in a Lizzie Lovely bag, it'll make a super trim on a little tiny mini quilt, but it'll just need the fraying bits cut off. So it'll still look nice. Yeah, so I couldn't get the scanner to work, and I pressed. You know what you do? You switch it off, you switch it on, you reset it, you switch it all off again. You sneak up behind it and try to surprise it, and put the sort of drawing back in the scanner, and you know, you try everything, don't you? And in the end, I went downstairs, made a cup of coffee, the one I'm trying to drink. And I thought, right, I'm going to start all over again. I'm going to sneak up. I'm going to pretend I don't want to do any scanning. I'm going to pretend like that. No, I don't need you, thank you. It's all right. You can carry on, do what you like. And then I sneaked up and pressed the scan button, and it scanned. Only just though. So I've only just got it. So tonight I'll be drawing on my graphics program, trying to get these templates right, because you've got to get them as accurate as you can, obviously. And yeah, so I can get that done tonight. That'll be good. I can just sit in the sitting room. I can do that. There we are, a little bundle of bias. Right, I'm gonna stop now, and I'm just going to show you what else I've got. It's obscene. Look at that. Oh, there's a bit of blue there. Oh, that's it. So look, there's no way I could have done that. So Karen, you know your competition, Sort Your Bits. Does that count? And then can we ignore this? Would that be okay? Listen, that's green. That can come out because that's green. And that's beige. That's blue. Oh, that's grey. Come on. I'm not going to do grey. That's definitely green. That's kind of more blue. I don't think I can get rid of it all. But look, I'd be here for another 2 hours. So I think I shall call it a day. That's got stabiliser on it, we can get rid of that. So that's what I've done. And that'll go back in my box beautifully. And the rest, well, that's orange. The rest I will maybe do later. Oh dear. What is it? I think you may have failed. Who said that? Janet. Yeah, you're right. I tried. I tried. Patricia says mine is like that. Oh, you see, that's the thing, isn't it? We just bung it in. That's green. That's beige. That's blue. That's beige. That's white. That's beige. That's beige. I'm sorted my bits. Right, I will have to do that. That's orange. Oh, I've got glitter everywhere now from something. That's brown. Okay, I'll stop now. Right, thank you ever so much for keeping me company for an hour. It's been absolute fun. Hold on. I think you need to do this weekly until everything is done. Jackie, best you get down here and help me out then. There's plenty of room in here for two. I can supervise. Oh. And my blue would be like that. Oh, blue. Never mind. Okay, I'll switch my iron off. But I promise I will do all that and then I'll show you my heap. I'm not going to do it now because I'll have to go and do Millie's tea on my own. But I'll see you tomorrow night. I'm live with our Kath, and we're doing the mid-month madness pattern together. So join us for that, and I will look down the comments for the answer. I shall stop looking at the comments, let's say about 9 p.m. for those that are catching up, having come in from work, if they wish to. So just guess how many Facebook Lives I've done in this group, since we started 4 years ago. And the one nearest to the answer will win a Lizzie Lovely bag, which will be very nice and green. Which will be very lovely. Right, have a lovely rest of your evening. Go and get some chocolate. A bit early for sherry, but you can have a little bit of chocolate or chocolate cake. That would be nice. And I will see you, wrong mouse, and I will see you tomorrow night with our